Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video per special request because from time to time I do analysis of bands, musicians, because people want to just know my opinion of it, and that's all it is. It's just Morris Man's opinion. So here it is. I got a request for analysis on Santana, Lenny Kravitz, and Jesse Johnson. I'm going to go with Jesse Johnson first. I'm a huge Jesse Johnson fan, and I think he's a tremendous guitar player. And the only issue I have, and this is not negative, this is just my observation, and I understand initially because when Prince and Morris Day formed the Time, I know for a fact the first album actually, the two of them put together the entire album. They were the only two guys that played on the album. So after the album was released, they had to go recruit band members that would do these songs live. So of course the musicians that they brought in, the rest of the guys that formed the Time, had to play in the style of the record, you know, which is totally understandable, you know. So that's kind of what took place. And then after Jesse Johnson actually became a solo artist, it was like you can no longer, you don't have to play like Prince no more, but you know, it's like he's a carbon copy, he's a clone. And you know, again, this is just my opinion. You know, you play like you play. You know, of course you have influences like I do with Nile Rodgers and Ray Parker Jr., but I didn't go on a mission to try to sound exactly like them all the time. And that's the issue, or what I noticed. Because I'm going to say something, and a lot of people ain't going to believe this, because I didn't understand it, or it didn't dawn on me until I tried to do this. From time to time, I get people not only want me to do covers, which is, you know, understandable, not a problem. They want me to do artists, how can I best describe this? Well, I give you a good example. One guy asked me to do Jesse Johnson's Can You Help Me, the live version that he did on the Tom Joyner show. And I'm listening to it, and I'm like, he's adding so much variations and feels. I can't catch all that. I'm not trying to. And I don't really recommend anybody trying to be a clone note for other people. You know, you add your own flair, but you kind of do their style or their compositions, but you add your own stamp. So I was like, you know, that would take me days to do that. And I don't have the time or energy or the enthusiasm to copy somebody else's solo or style note for note. That's just not me. There's some other people that don't mind doing that, but that's just not me. So, because I initially looked at it, and he was playing, and he was adding these feels like Prince do. And I'm looking at where he's at fret-wise. I'm like, that's almost impossible, because I can't find these notes in that close proximity. Then it dawned on me, alternate tuning. And I know Prince does that too, because there's some times I see him doing stuff, and I'm like, I hit these same notes in the same fret positions, and I'm not hitting those notes. I'm like, you know, they didn't alter their tuning. You know, in order to kind of have all these feels so close around, you know, the chords they're playing, you know, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I just found that to be kind of interesting, because I'm like, oh, that's why I can't do this. Same thing on my DVD with Prince and Time songs. I talk at length about the Controversy song and what Prince did guitar-wise to play those two notes and play them close proximity without hitting other strings. Because when, and I'm going to say this, when you play certain riffs, well, you know what? I'm not going to get into that, because that's a long, detailed thing, which I document or laid out in the DVD, the Prince Time DVD, because it's actually kind of clever. But that's the only issue that I kind of have with Jesse Johnson. Tremendous guitar player. I mean, guy can play his tail off, but he's still in the style of Prince. And it's like, it's just a carbon copy stamp, you know. So moving on to the next one. Lenny Kravitz. I don't have anything bad to say about Lenny Kravitz. To me personally, I have to like your sound, you know, because the band that I just love their sound and the way that they arrange their stuff and record it is the Gin Blossoms. The two guitar players mosh beautifully. They don't clash, you know, and I love, I mean, audio-wise, I just love their sound, you know, not just their compositions and the great vocalists that they have, but just their sound. You know, and Lenny doesn't do anything for me. You know, a talented guy, get the job done, but I don't really hit anything that just kind of boom and floor me, you know. And that's not, again, taking away from his talents or being negative. That's just my honest observation of him. When I listen to his stuff, nothing. You know, the guitar player from Huey Lewis and the News blew me away. You know, the solos and just his guitar playing style, you know, it stood out. You know, and I think if he was a good singer like Huey Lewis was, I think he would have went solo. You know, because there's just some people, when you listen to their playing, it just stands out. It's like, whoa, you know. And that's what that guy do to me. And as far as Lenny Kravitz, it's like for a long time he was searching for his style, his sound. You know, because the very first song I heard, I was really just not impressed. It was called Mr. Cab Driver. It's like, musically, don't do nothing for me. Vocally, really don't do nothing for me. You know, and again, I'm not taking away from his talent or trashing him. This is not a negative statement, it's just my opinion and observation. You know, so, and then a lot of times, and I'm going to say this because it's true. You know, if you got a famous mama or daddy, you in the door already. You know, because that just kind of opens the door already for you to get in, as opposed to you have no heavy ties into the music business. You're not related to any movers or shakers, so you got to go at it the old-fashioned way and just hope somebody on the inside like you and bring you in. But there's some people, they already had that mapped out even before they even picked up a guitar, start singing, you know. And I put him in that category. And again, it's not a negative statement. Carlos Santana, musical genius. I mean, what can I say about Carlos? I mean, this guy's just tremendous. And what's interesting is a lot of interviews that Prince had given over the years, you know, he stated that Jimi Hendrix was one of his biggest influences. And we can see that and hear it. But what most people know, his biggest influence was Carlos Santana. And when I heard that, I said, you know what, I can hear that, because they both play those weird scale modes, the Dorian mode and all these other weird modes, because most R&B guys play pentatonic scale, blues scale. We done. You know, we don't have to play the Bayesian mode or the Dorian mode, you know, because the music that we play as far as R&B doesn't want a different scale to play. You know, because a lot of times when you try to play a scale like that in a traditional R&B song, it sounds weird. You know, it's not that it's out of key, it just sounds weird. So we just basically stick to pentatonic scale, blues scale. But Carlos Santana, you know, this guy, I mean, I love his playing. I love his compositions. I love his sound. You know, he's been around for the longest. I mean, I think he played Woodstock. Yeah, I think he played Woodstock. So he's a living legend, you know. So all praise to Carlos. So I'm going to wrap this up. And until next time, take care. And as always, thank you guys for coming to my channel.